There is a thing called pretty privilege. There is a thing called white privilege. There is a thing called tall privilege. And we have to acknowledge that. And so the part of it is about race, because if you think about the Brittany Griners of the world, you know, why did she have to go to play in Russia?
Because they wouldn't pay her.
Because they wouldn't pay her.
Because they wouldn't pay, not because she was black, but because they didn't believe in the WNBA.
This is part of my point. So now, you know, Caitlyn Clark is bringing this money, these sponsorships, we hope, into the league, and other players will benefit from it. But I do think that she is more relatable to more people because she's white, because she's attractive. And unfortunately, there still is that stigma of against the LGBTQ plus community. 70% of the WNBA is black. A third of the players are in the LGBTQ plus community. And we have to do something about that stigma in this country. I think that people have a problem with basketball playing women that are lesbians. Who cares?
Hey, y'all, thanks for stopping in. So Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports, he responded and called Sunny Hostin a arsist for her privilege take on that. And let's get into this real quickly. Somebody tell this arsist all these players are superstars and white. Nobody cared tell Caitlyn Clark. It's the way she plays, which is true. I mean, she just came out of the NCAA women's division scoring more points than anybody in history, right? She set the record. And then he lists off a group of 8 women. Look, I've only heard of 1 or 2 of them, but, you know, I don't watch the WNBA, and frankly, they are not marketable superstars. Anybody in that league besides Brittany Griner, and the only reason why she was, I don't know, she's not even a marketable superstar, but the only reason why we know her is because she got locked up in Russia, and then Biden traded her in a prisoner exchange for a guy dubbed the Merchant of Death. You know, definitely a fair trade. I can't even say that without laughing, so I'm not even going to try to reshoot that. But let's get into this take from Jason Whitlock. I think it's fantastic. I don't want to talk too long, so let's go ahead and check him out.
Let me get back to Caitlyn Clark. Caitlyn Clark's sanity cannot survive the racial, sexual, and political blender participation in the WNBA will cause. She's just 22 years old. She's a white woman with a boyfriend raised in the Catholic faith. She plays on a bad basketball team that has started the season 0-5. She's playing in a league that is hostile to virtually everything about her: skin color, sexuality, and faith. That's why, in terms of mental health, I think it's fair to compare Clark to Jackie Robinson. The mental health challenges facing her are every bit, if not more, as strenuous as Robinson's burden nearly 80 years ago. As of today, if I had to bet, I think Caitlyn Clark's WNBA peers are going to break her. I'm not alone in that thought. Charles Barkley, LeBron James, and countless others can see what I can see. The level of pressure on Clark to rescue the floundering league, combined with the amount of jealousy, racism, and anti-heterosexual bigotry directed at Clark, combined with the incompetence of the Indiana Fever organization, are going to permanently destroy Caitlyn Clark. That is my prediction. I do not see a path to success for Clark, not a sustainable path.
And I wanted to pause real quick and just point out and add to his point that if she were to come out and echo Harrison Butker's statements, she would certainly be doomed in the WNBA, right?
There's a willful ignorance that defines the discussion of Clark, an ignorance that social media platforms and YouTube reward.
If you like content like this, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Now let's check out what LeBron James has to say.
The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane for the first time in their league history. You know, they flew private. That should be celebrated in its own right. From anyone that's, you know, in sports that's flown commercial or flown, you know, charter, That should be celebrated, and it's because of Caitlyn Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it. Caitlyn Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
And let me explain why. It's because people want to actually watch Caitlyn Clark play. That will help television ratings, which will drive, money to the NBA. Because, so far up to this point, from what I understand, I'm not a WNBA fan, and I don't even watch much of the real NBA. But from what I understand, up to this point, the majority of the WNBA has actually been subsidized by the NBA. The men's game has been subsidizing the women's game. Brittany Griner was so polarizing that it didn't help. But a person like Caitlyn Clark actually brings a whole new set of eyeballs to the sport. And that's what the people that are actually paying attention, that are in this field, see and understand. Let's continue.
Charles Barkley tried to shower some sympathy on Caitlyn Clark. He scolded Clark's WNBA peers on the set of Inside the NBA last night.
You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, Lebron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlyn Clark. Y'all petty, girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world. Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dudes. Listen, what she's accomplished, give her flowers. Stop being petty, all you women out there. She got y'all ass charters. She bringing all y'all this money to the table, but y'all being petty like dudes. LeBron, you are 100% right. Y'all girls, stop being petty. Caitlyn Clark, thank you for bringing all that money and shine to the WNBA.
It's not working. And Charles is being a bit dishonest because, saying don't be petty like men. No, we know who the queens of petty are, and it's not men. He was talking specifically about Caitlyn Clark. And Cheney and these WNBA players, they don't want to admit that Caitlyn Clark alone is the primary reason there is significant interest in the WNBA. If they acknowledge that fact, they would be admitting a white girl is saving the league. They're so controlled by their racial idolatry that they are forced to be jealous, petty, and racist toward Caitlyn Clark. Angel Reese's embrace of femininity has helped the W market itself to non-LGBTQ fans. But Angel Reese is also part of the problem. Her brand was built off hating and trolling Caitlyn Clark. Remember this? Reese still struggles to conceal her jealousy of Clark. Reese recently complained that all WNBA teams should be getting the same publicity. It ain't just one team. Who do you think she's talking about? She's talking about Caitlyn Clark. Angel Reese is in on the hatred and idolatry and jealousy of Caitlyn Clark, just like everybody else. Jackie Robinson was 28 years old during his rookie season in Major League Baseball. That's 6 years older than Clark. He joined a team that finished 96, 60, and 1 the year before. No one was all that surprised the Dodgers advanced to the World Series Robinson's rookie year. Clark, on the other hand, joined the worst team in the WNBA. No matter how much abuse Robinson suffered, at least he knew he was playing for a winner and playing meaningful games. Athletes love to win. Winning is the reward for suffering and sacrifice. As a baseball player, particularly as a batter, Robinson could single-handedly control his level of individual success. Clark's success as an individual depends on the other 4 players on the court with her. She can't pass herself the ball. She can't catch her own passes. She can't set screens for herself. She needs the other 4 players to be good and be able to operate somewhere close to her level. So far, the defenses deployed against the Fever are solely designed to stop Caitlyn Clark. Defenders pick her up full court, and she's blitzed and double-teamed virtually every time she initiates offense at the top of the key. Clark is going to struggle offensively, and her team will struggle to win games all summer. She's going to be miserable and isolated all summer. She's going to hear idiots who know nothing about basketball dissect her play, and racist idiots dissect her personality and impact. This is unprecedented. The WNBA is a floundering league, as I said earlier. Jackie Robinson wasn't tasked with saving professional baseball. He just needed to save himself. Clark is carrying the WNBA. When Larry Bird entered the NBA in 1979, he shared the burden of elevating the NBA with Magic Johnson. Bird wasn't a white savior. He was the great white hope. Hope is a far lighter load than savior.
And I love what he does here. Check this out.
Saviors get rejected, persecuted, and crucified. When the angry feminists and racists finish killing Caitlyn Clark, she will not rise again 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years, 3 decades, or even 3 centuries later. She'll be dead right alongside the WNBA.
I love how he did that there. Did you catch the reference? So with that, you guys, I just want to ask, what are your thoughts? Do you think that Caitlyn Clark can save the WNBA before the woke lefties force her out of the league? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.